One moment, Orion Council here. One moment. We went to talk about Area 51. You would ask why at this time. We have necessarily mentioned it. You must understand, certain places are points of focus that have been utilized throughout your Earth history. People come from other planets to your planet. They come through portals, interdimensional ones, and they communicate ascension. And your people on your Earth are in between messengers communicating with these beings, and we are waiting for certain communities to acknowledge the presence of those beings. There are many beings around your planet. They look at you at this time. They work around your Earth and they deliberate what to do, how to help. And we want you to know that the only destination you have is the planet Earth and beyond. So you are to focus here and you are to focus elsewhere. You are to experience that sort of dichotomy in this life. How can we be of assistance? Orion Council here.
What's the current state of affairs?
We sense that peace is coming back, those who are turned off by that energy go without that feeling that they are at peace. Those who choose light have had an opportunity to expand, and they are similar to those who have hope, generosity, and a sense of kindness to others. You have a natural inclination to acknowledge one another, and you notice that on your planet some personalities are struggling. Why do they struggle? And you feel absolute upset. So how can we be of assistance?
Yeah, how can people concentrate on love when there's so much fear being projected right now?
Those people are sensitive, but they do not communicate. So what is going on is your question. As you know, lots of consciousness comes together to watch this planet, and you wonder if that has an effect on your Earth. We are here to explain that this planet has been contacted over long periods of time. So what is so difficult about this Earth? People know that you have a structure here, and sometimes those structures change. You are looking at a generational shifting that is one you will experience in each lifetime. And so those who have experienced several generations are sensitive to what is happening. You must look to them for answers. Those who have been before you understand these sorts of events. And we say this in a sensitive way because once you have appreciation for these people, you can continue about your day. One major lesson happening at this time. Thank you.
So, what's the overall lesson for is why have unconscious people to have calamities in order to get conscious?
Peace, peace. All of you know this word, yes? When do you practice peace? When is it the time? I'll question for you, because those personalities who are not at peace, you would say, oh, they are stressful. However, a lot of it is self-created. So the calamity is not necessary. You are to feel at peace, inside and outside. As above, so below. Inside and outside. At the same time, multidimensionality. Lightworkers are focusing in a new way, utilizing their learning at this time, and it is a nice process. People who have come together for situations as this in the past know there is a certain way of focusing. They know to close their mind. And they continue to weave in a new reality. And we have mentioned this also to many of you who know that you have a lesson, yes, about creating. And we want you to understand that lesson, because sensitivity is required for creation. And many of the light workers complain because they feel they are too sensitive. This affects the creation. And so how do sensitive beings function when others are learning simple learnings of peace and responsibility to those who came before them? You are having trouble with your creation, some of you, and you know it is because of you, who you are. And as we reflect to you who you are, you sense of peace. And you say, well, that was a simple lesson. I thought I had learned it before, but now you have recalled these masterful beings who have come through the channel to say, where are your simple lessons learned? Yes? And many are having to recall those simple lessons. But at this time, as we mentioned, those beings watching are also sensitive. So as you know, when there are those who are looking after your well-being, also being sensitive, how does that affect the planet? Once you see the help you have been given, you will have a greatest appreciation for your own emanations of this simple lesson. It is time to focus on your peace now.
How can we work with more contact when we fear the structure of life and resources and living in urban areas is at stake?
People have to focus more. They are not aware of their individual capacities because of the reliance on the current state of events. They are relying on the timeline, as you know, many of you call these timelines. And they are not aware of the conscious self creating its own experience. It is a difficult learning. So what do those people do who are worried about others, who are not feeling responsible for these creations? You think that it is your work here to change their minds and to assist them and to bring them to a better place. And we tell you that there is no law in the universe that will allow you to do that sort of lesson for them. And as much as you want to change others, some of the hardest learning for you is to be peaceful while you are sensitive to their condition. What is happening here? So much internal expression, so much external confusion. People underestimating their own capacity to deliver higher programs of learning and evolution for the conscious mind. What do we mean by this? Where you are located, as we have said, is important. We have mentioned this area 51 through the channel until she was quite upset and said, I have had enough of these messages, Orion Council. Why do you insist on this area 51? How you go about your learning is through example as onto others. You create stories, you create examples from one storyline, and you create many artistic forms of expression to explain what is happening. And those people who have not the awareness that they can create this sort of expression have held back from expressing their love and desire of Area 51. And it is such a simple excitement that people have about this, and so we mention it to those many people who respond with excitement through that statement. We consider many groups when we communicate. Thank you.
So, is this a peak 2020, or is this a timeline phase shift, like complete change?
If you think about it as time, and you quantify this experience, you feel it is taking an eternity, yes, this experience. And when you are in enjoyment, you say, the day went by so quickly, and we want you to use these events as a reference for your own centeredness, because when you are communicating interdimensionally, it is one requirement that you stay focused within your own physicality. And so many of you, including our channel, have to practice coming and going from the physical vessel. and you know that it is multidimensional. And so as you focus on your peace, you are centered within your physicality, you are able to handle events such as interdimensional contact. And so many of you are considering these events while wanting to change the political structure in your world. And so you are sort of in the middle again, saying, Orion Council, which direction do I move my pendulum towards, because I am having these sorts of feelings. When you are inspired, when you are focused, when you are centered, your capability to perform benevolent action is intensified. And so at this time, you may find yourself mapping and creating lists and those sorts of things, because it is according to your planets. But at the same time, you are sensing your external reality is changing. So you are saying, right, Council, if you are quantifying experience on a planet Earth while focusing your consciousness on other planets, what do you do? And when will this change? Because I am wanting to experience something else. And we see enough of you wanting to experience something else. Now you wonder, what is coming? What is the planet Earth creating at this time? You look at those who came before you and ask them, what is the first thing that you are wanting in your life at this time? And most of them will tell you they just want to be at peace. So now you know what our answer is. How long will this take? It depends on you and your conscious mind and your friendship with other people. Also those personalities who are sensitive to energies are most upset by these challenges. If you have listened to our messaging and you are feeling responsible because you are in love with one another, then continue your ways. Move about your earth sensitive to one another. Gifts are given for assisting. Listening is happening. And people are coming down. It is a miracle, because you would think that they would not feel so peaceful, but they are feeling quite peaceful. Don't worry about the activities of all the other ones. We have told you Area 51 is active. You will always have activity through these points on your planet Earth. It was a pleasure to channel today. We know it is a struggle, and we know that you are curious about eternity, but you must sense yourself within that framework of God's infinite creation. Thank you.
Thank you.